Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. Welcome back to another CreamCatCorner stream. So this week, yeah, I decided I want to have a chill time. I want to relax, and I decided to go back into Kingdom Two Crowns and make some progress into this game. Oh God. It's been such a long time since I played this game that I don't even remember what happened and what are my goals. So, we're just gonna relax, and if we die, we die. We start all over again. But if we don't and survive, we'll we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. How's Oh God. Hello Santa. Hello, hello. Welcome back. How's your week so far? Is it Friday? No. Yeah. Is it Friday where you are? Or is it early Sunday? Saturday? Sorry, my mind is a little bit frazzled today. Oh gosh. Do you guys want to hear a bad and sad story about this week? So, it's Saturday already. Oh, okay. I always got confused about the different time zone. Yeah, the sad stories, right? Um, in the area of my house, there is this one stray cat, okay? Actually, there's a lot of stray cats around my house, but there is this one stray cat that keeps on coming to my house, and um, me and my neighbor both feeds this stray cat, right? The cat is a male, but the way he acts is not very aggressive. He's very docile and he's very cuddly with you, basically. He's very docile and very, very, very sweet. A very sweet cat. Um, long story cut short, during Monday, he comes to go to my neighbor's house and he eats there, and then he went to my house and he eats here at my house, and then Tuesday morning the neighbor's I want to say neighbor's daughter, yeah, the neighbor's daughter bring the cat into her room. Bear in mind the neighbor's daughter is like what, 2 years younger than me, so eh, just to make things more easy to convey. So this neighbor's daughter bring the cat back into her room because she is very, very fond of this cat, okay? And she was very concerned about this cat because he, the cat, doesn't want us to eat. He he lost his appetite. He was basically sulking. I don't know. That's the word that she tells us. And then come Wednesday, 2 days afterwards, um, the cat still didn't eat, and the neighbors got so anxious about it, and they decided to call us, my parents and me, to go have a look. And then we see that the cat might be having a fever or something like that, and um, ask the neighbor to bring the cat to a vet. Standard stuff like that. Um, and then at at that time it was already 6:20 p.m. Um, and the cheaper vet, meaning there are two nearest vet near my house. One is a little bit of a scam, and one is much more cheaper and affordable. and their service is also good. But unfortunately, since it is 6:20 p.m., the cheaper vet has been closed. So they have to go to the more expensive one because that veterinary clinic is closed at 9. So the neighbors brought them to the vet clinic, and basically they told them that the cat is having, I don't know, nerve problem. That's what the vet said, had a nerve problem. And then less than 24 hours later, the next morning, the cat died. Oh my God. So I still don't understand why, because in just a short amount of time, the cat went from I basically normal. He eats at my house, and then he ate at the neighbor's house. I managed to play with him. Basically normal stuff. But I don't know. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Maybe someone poisoned the cat before he comes to eat at my house, before he comes to eat at the neighbor's house. I don't know, but the vet doctors can only say that he had a nerve problem, but he's not paralyzed. It's just, you know how a cat, if they had a slight fever, they just mope around. They don't want to eat, but eventually they will eat or they will drink, right? But this cat, the last few hours, sorry, not a few hours, few days, he simply didn't want to eat anything. And the doctors did all of his blood tests with all those antibodies and everything. He doesn't have FIP. He doesn't have any bacterial infection. Nothing. Nothing's wrong with the cat. I feel so sad because you know that cat has been like a staple to my neighbors and my house for almost 2 years, basically. And I feel so sad having to live with the fact that the cat will never be coming back to my house, basically. Oh God. But uh on the upside, there is a good news. On Monday morning when I was dealing with the my garden, um after I played with the cat, right? The cat went to the neighbor's house, and then while I was mending the soil, um there comes kittens, three little kittens, and oh God. Hello, Vigor. Hello. I was telling a sad story, and now I'm telling a much happier story so that it doesn't sour the mood, basically. And the kittens that came to my house is basically the neighbor's house. Is from the neighbor's house. Uh, the neighbors on my right. The cat. Uh, oh my God, I'm telling this story in such a roundabout way. Uh, the kittens are from the neighbors from my right, whereas the cat that died was between my house and the neighbors on my left, if that makes sense. So the kittens are very cute. Basically that will that would uh that would help me with my feeling of loss with the stray cat, basically. Don't get me wrong, my own cat, indoor cat, is still doing fine. She's actually eating a lot, and she's been very fussy lately that she needs someone to eat out of the palm of someone's hand. She needs someone to hand feed her the kibbles and so on and whatnot. She eats treat every day. My God, she's so pampered. The cat is fussy. Yeah. Anyway, we're so this week has been quite a roller coaster of emotion. I definitely feel under the weather and sad because of the fact that the cat died. Oh God. But yeah, yeah. I Moral of the story here is that if you want to own a cat, oh God, uh, it is better for the cat owner to bring them indoors, basically, and take good care of them indoors. Because basically, when you put your cat outdoors, they can't control what they eat, right? Some people might feed them poison. Some people, the cat might eat something poisonous by any chance, not even someone poisoning them. But yeah, you can't control. Plus, it's better for the environment. Cats kill, cat kills stuff. Maybe birds or rats or something like that. They are a wreck to Mother Nature. Okay. Sorry about that. A little bit of the tangent. I just want to tell you guys about this sad story. Okay. Your week was a heat wave. Oh God. Yesterday at night you had 38 to 39 degrees Celsius, and during the day you had 43 and 45 degrees Celsius. Yo, okay. That is very high. Even during the night it's almost 40 degrees Celsius. My God. Oh God. This week for me in my country, it has been a mixed bag. It has been raining for like 4 days, not consecutively, but on and off. Oh my God. And tomorrow you will have days 47, global warming bad. I know, Santa. Every time I look at the news, I see that in Italy, the temperature is almost reaching 50. In Arizona or something like that, the temperature is already like what, 55 degrees Celsius? That's nuts. Oh God. And every single day I see someone died from heat stroke, from the severe dehydration. My God. Yeah. Everyone, if you are experience a very, very strong heat wave, do hydrate yourself, okay? The stream froze for you, but that's because Discord is loading too. Okay, no worries. What about you, Santa? What about you? How's your week so far? What is the temperature you are experiencing in your country? You're back? Okay, it unfroze. Okay, no worries, Vigor, no worries. Tomorrow you will have 47 degrees Celsius. Oh God. Vigor, I hope you are staying at a much ventilated place if possible, not in the under the sun, under the scorching heat. My God. Does your place, the surrounding area, have a lot of wind blowing, by the way, Vigor? Or is the air stagnant? Because at least in my country, that the wind is at least blowing, so even though the temperature is relatively high, if the weather is nice to us, the wind will be helping us to relieve some of the heat that we are experiencing. Ventilated in the house with only a fan, you have 40 degrees Celsius, no wind at all. Ooh, my God, that is horrendous. My God, 40 degrees Celsius. My God. Always drink water, okay, Vigor? Week's been alright, and not too warm, not too cold. Something like 18 degrees Celsius during the day. Oh man, lucky you, Santa. Lucky you. Enjoy it. Enjoy it for in behalf of us, okay, Santa? In behalf of Vigor and me, do enjoy that nice weather you are having, okay? The only way to survive is with the AC you have. Ice cream melts in like 1 minute. Ooh. Yeah, most people God, I'm not sure about those that are living in temperate countries, right? But those that are living in tropical countries, I feel like most, if not all, have some sort of air conditioning or some sort of air cooling system. You know those swamp cooler where you put an ice block into a fan? Yeah, at least they have that. They can't rely only on fan. Ice cream melt is half melted despite the fact that it's inside the freezer and that's how hot it is. Yeah, I do agree with that, Vigor. Temperature is really hot. That's what happened with me too. Oh, okay. I'm 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 I am getting too distracted. I should play some games, huh? I I forgot. I forgot that I'm streaming and need to play a game and not just chatting. Okay, this game. I already forgot how to play it. Okay, let's explore. Also you made a small video with a song you found on YouTube. Want want you to tell me? Yeah, sure. You'll tell me about it, Vigor. Okay, so God, okay. Hmm. I do have a lot of coins. Okay. Where is the treasurer? Ah, there you are. Okay. Maybe I should put. Okay, okay, wait. I'm a little bit confused. Which Okay, we are on island number 3. We have the stack. Oof, okay. We have a griffin. We have to unlock the builder statue. Hmm. Decisions. Have we not unlocked the stable yet? Okay. Why do you give me back the money, sir? I really don't want money, sir. I want you to take good care of the money. Yeah, you take good care of that, okay, sir? I don't remember that much about this game. Do remember about this. I do remember that I do need to get better mount. Okay, what is this lady do? What does this lady do? Not even sure. Maybe she's the one that... Wait. Maybe she's the one that unlocks this table? Ah, no, I'm not even sure. My god, how long since I've played this game? Oh my god, a tanuki! Okay. Consolidate the defense on both sides before we do anything. We have a ton. We have a ton of army. Ooh, we have a lot of money too. Okay. I'm still a little bit lost. Let's put a lot of our wealth into fixing the boat. Did the message pop up? I don't think so. The last message that you sent is the one about the video, and no details. You didn't post any details about it. How about now? No? I'm not sure if it's me just not seeing it or... Oh, Santa, it doesn't show up for you too? Then it's not me then. I was worried that it's a problem on my end, but it's not. Okay. Oh yes, I do see it. So the song you put has those lyrics. You see, I see who you are. You are my enemy. My enemy. You are my enemy. Say that 4 times. And you basically show 4 people and 3 enemies they have in games or real life. Ooh. Yes, I do receive your message now, Vigor. So so the first person you is the one who you talk with in Discord, and his enemy you put are the Blood Moon, Underworld, and Solar Eclipse from Terraria. Ooh, I see. So you randomly assign enemies, or do I have to say what is the enemy that I had or have? Okay, I basically have a lot of people on my end here. So I shouldn't be that worried. Just need to improve my defenses. Have a catapult on our side, on this side. Okay, let's send We even have people to send? I mean, what does this mean? Why is there one that has a flag and one is a code? A happy. Happy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm so confused right now. You know what? Just send. Let's just send people, okay? Am I gonna regret this? My god, I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You better work fast, hunters. Archers. Come on. Yes. Okay. Run. Run. Run, my dudes. Run. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Oh god. Okay. You're tired. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I shouldn't be so bold. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna make it through this blood moon. Okay. While we wait for this, let me read the chat. The second person is a streamer you watch, and his enemies are Terraria farms, hard challenges in the Rain World game, and people who say his Twitch icon is a grasshopper, not a cricket. Okay. Oh my god. Does his icon looks like a grasshopper? I mean, technically, grasshopper does look like a cricket. It's just that there's a few minor details that you need to be on the lookout for in order to distinguish between the two. Okay, let's see. Okay, we survived the blood moon, so that's good. The third person is you, and your enemies are a streamer's friend, Markov from Hollow Knight, and people who say Grimchild is bad. Oh, that is your enemy, huh? Do not insult Grimchild. Okay, let's... We have that chest there. Interesting. Ooh, more people? Oh my god. What is this? Uh-oh. Okay, so basically on the right. Oh shoot, okay. There's nothing that I need to unlock yet. On the right, sorry, on the left. My god. My disability about left and right. What's that slimy living door on the left? Hello, Nero. Hello, hello. Welcome back. What's the slimy living door? That is the monster's portal, which I shouldn't be going to it. Oh my god. That is the final slime portal on the left. So if I manage to destroy that, it's pretty much I don't have to worry basically. Hello Nero, hello hello. You know, every time I read your name, Nero, it reminds me of Devil May Cry games. Because in that game they have Nero, right? Or am I am I misremembering stuff? I thought they have Nero. Yeah, every time I read your name, I was reminded of that game. Oh my god. Please help me. Hello? The ninjas are useless. My god, this mod sucks. Oh yeah, you think they do? Okay. At least I'm not hallucinating. I'm just okay. Funny enough, I've never played any of the mainline Devil May Cry game. I've seen the characters, but I didn't know any of the stories. I did play a little bit of the reboot, the MC game, and it was I have to say it was fun to play that game, even though I know that the Devil May Cry fans really don't like that game that much. They say that the game is too edgy and it loses its charm from the previous games. But then again, I'm not a huge Devil May Cry fan, so I'm not sure. Ooh, a builder statue. I'm not sure if I am the right person to talk about. Dang, I only have one diamond? That sucks. Okay. How's your week so far, by the way, Nero? Do you experience any high heat wave, strong heat wave? At least where me and Bigger is living, we are experiencing a very strong heat wave. Basic, boring week as usual. I mean, normal week is good. It's good. It's been a bit colder recently. Oh, interesting. Colder? What is the temperature there, by the way, Nero? Is it in the teens or the 20s? 18 to 23 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's a really comfortable temperature you are having. Nice, nice. A lot of wind and rain. Oh gosh. So it's a little bit colder, huh? Well, as long as you are not experiencing any strong heat wave, I guess that's good. I mean, if it's colder, you can layer up, but if it's hot, you cannot. You cannot take clothes off in the public. Okay, what is my plan here? What is my plan? Okay, I know what's my plan. My plan is to fix the damn ship and then get the diamond and then we can move on. I'm not even sure if that's what I want. Oh, I just remembered. I didn't make any sort of progress whatsoever at my PNG tubing. Oh man, I've been so busy. I forgot to do it during my spare time. I meant to do it, but I guess I got so distracted by other stuff that requires more attention. Hmm. Oh God. Okay. But I think I am. No, I don't want to say that I am close to finishing, but because I'm not, there's a lot of kink that I need to work out. Maybe during this weekend, I'll figure something out. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So, hmm, your pizza is here. Ooh, what kind of topping do you had? Do you have? My God. What kind of topping are you having, Santa? Ooh, yeah. Speaking of pizza, I haven't had any of the fast food pizza for a very long time now. Mostly because I much prefer to make my own. Believe it or not, your fat ass has two pizza, one vegetarian wait what? Vegetariana? Ooh, and one fruity de mar. Fruity de mar? Fruity de mer? What does the topping for vegetariana have? And what is one fruity de mar? De mer? I've never heard about that. Is it the one that has banana on top of it? Oh my god, I hope I hope no Italians are watching the stream because oh gosh, they are really proud of their cuisine. And some say that they don't like to put any kind of fruits besides tomatoes on top of their pizza. Those are really common pizza. Banana. Ooh. Some people give, you know, whenever they say weird, not weird, weird to them, pizza flavor, such as like banana, and I've seen like what, blue cheese pizza. What else? Uh, Korea has a few weird flavor. I don't remember what. Uh, in fact, in my country, there's this one pizza, Domino's from Domino's. They do custard. They also have banana here, and there's also pandan custard flavor. I've had the banana pizza once, and I have to say it's basically a dessert. A dessert. I don't see it as a savory stuff. I see it as a dessert. So I don't know. It tastes very good. Is fruity di fruity di mar banana Santa? What about everyone's favorite pizza topping? I personally love just normal. Well, it's normal for me. I made my own ragu and then I put it on top of the pizza. I put cheese on top of it. We don't even have I don't even put pepperoni. Pepperoni is expensive, a little bit expensive where I'm from, so we use them sparingly. Oh god, okay. I I I don't want to save. Okay, you know what? You know what? You know what? Let's go to the next island then. Everyone, get into the chopper. Oh, I should say ship, huh? Vegetariana has red onion, mushroom, olives, pineapple, paprika, stuff like that. Frutti de mar means fruit of the ocean. Oh, okay. Stuff like tuna, mussels, and shrimp. Oh my god, Santa, that sounds delicious. I've never had mussels on top mussels on top of pizza before. I've had tuna, I've had shrimp, but not with mussels. Interesting. You like chicken and pineapple on pizza? Ooh, Hawaiian surprise. And though some would consider this topping a blasphemy, yes, some people are really uh they really like the classic one, which means they really only prefer tomato sauce, cheese, and occasionally pepperoni. I mean, to each their own, but yeah, some people like a little bit more flavor with their pizza. Just went out for 2 minutes and you sweat so much. Oh my god. Viggo, why do you go out? It's hot. Stay inside. Stay inside and let's talk about pizza, okay? Okay, you went out to buy something. That's fair, that's fair. Ooh, has hello, lady? You also coming, huh? Okay. Uh, has anyone had calzones before? I personally love calzone. Oof, okay. So I still have to destroy 4 portals here. What is the strategy here? Should I go back? Oh man. Oh man, okay. You know what? Let's go to the new island. Gotta get some food and be right back. Oh, no worries, Nero. I will be right here. Go and have sustenance. Okay. Well, I figured things out here and what to do. Man, this horse sucks. Only such short distances and they are already tired. Interesting. Okay, and everyone, I need you to hunt. Oh, oh, what is this? Oh, it's the Komodo dragon. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Everyone stay calm. Oh, dang it. I don't have money. I don't have money to mount. Dang it. I need 10 coins. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. We still very much early in the game. I do remember that the Komodo dragon is really good. I can burn stuff. Okay. Yeah, speaking of pizza, right? Calzones. I love calzone. Mostly because... Oh god, okay, what is this? Mostly because it is such a handy food to have. When you are on the go, calzone is your friend. I mean, don't get me wrong, pizza is good, but having a a form of pizza that you can take whenever you go, that's the life. Oh god. Ugh. Okay. Hopefully my knights here can defend themselves for a bit. Calzones are good. You like bread. Yeah. Man, I do remember when I was a kid, my mom my mom used to experiment with recipes, right? And I guess that trait got inherited to me somehow, mostly because of habits, I guess. But I do remember that my mom likes to experiment with um how to make various stuff, and one of them being calzones. I do remember that the first few batch of calzones that she made is like really dense. Uh, a really dense bread, basically. But over time, she do make some killer calzones. Even I am not able to do a great calzone or any bread. I think I've mentioned this before, but I my hands are not suitable for making bread. I don't know why, but every single bread recipe that I made has not come to fruition. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm impatient. I don't know. In that case, I think pizza won because pizza is really easy to make. You just have to make a flat piece of bread, flat piece of dough, and you don't even need to handle it that much. Whereas as calzone, you really need to balance uh between the wetness of the dough and the strength of the dough. Okay, what's the plan here? What's the plan? Okay, let's build a wall here. My god, it's raining. I don't even see what is happening here. Okay, what's the plan here? Oh, okay, I forgot that we have a Komodo dragon here. Hello, good sir. Yeah! Yes, yes! How? Oh, okay. Okay, now I remember. Yes! Yes, queen! Okay. Uh-oh. What do you eat again, Komodo? You don't eat anything? Interesting. You eat anything in the forest? You eat the horse? No. Okay, whatever. Let's fully... Let's do some deforestation. We need to make some sort of money. Yes! Did you know that Komodo dragon is a real... It's not a real dragon. It's a real type of animal. And its saliva is really, really toxic. Toxic? Poisonous. I'm not even sure. I think it's toxic. I always confuse between the two term. I think it's toxic. Meaning, uh... sorry, not toxic. Venomous. My god. What is wrong with me? It's mostly because of their diet. Komodo dragon that is native in Indonesia. They are a scavenger hunter, I think, and they eat a lot of rotting carcasses. So in order to combat all those deadly pathogens that are present in the carcasses, they produce a lot of defensive mechanism. in their saliva, in their digestive system. So even though it is a really toxic cocktail that they have, but because they evolve with that sort of adaptation, it gives them an edge in evolution. I find that so interesting. Lately, I've been watching a lot of David Attenborough's documentary. uh, I think the last documentary that I watched is about Our Planet, the first Our Planet from 2019. Um, yeah, it tells a story about the documentary is about how the climate change affects the animal in the forest and in the wild. Already at night? Whoa, okay. I keep forgetting to make the new. Okay, whatever. Tomorrow. Oh my god. The workers really. They really stood in the flame and then they did nothing. Interesting, good sir. Interesting. Okay. You know what? Let's do this then. My god. So I guess the limitation of the Komodo dragon here is that they can't travel that well in the night. They have to rely on sunlight recharge. Okay, okay. I see how it is. But they are really fast, huh? A bear? Wait. I forgot about the bear. Okay, so the Komodo dragon really needs an open field during the day. Interesting. Oh my god. Oh my god. Recharge, then go. But the fact that they are really fast really helps us in the long run. Look at those little dude go. Uh-oh, okay. So, really quite far, I have to say. Okay, what's the plan here? Hmm. Okay, let's Let's leave it at that. More archers, I guess? Yeah, more archers. Ooh, look at that. Look at the money. Monies that we are rolling in. Sorry. That money belongs to me. Anyone else wants to challenge me? A very dense forest, huh? On the right side here. Oh, shoot. It's a blood moon night. Okay. Everyone stay calm. Okay. Uh-oh. Shoot, I should recharge first. Before we venture into the darkness, let's clear up this forest first. Okay. That should do its trick. So that means tomorrow, tomorrow in game, I should have enough energy to venture deeper into the right side of the forest. But for now, let's improve on the defenses that we have on the right side here, I guess. Yeah, let's do the right side first. Our defense are really floppy, I have to say. Not my best defenses. Like we are in day 5. Interesting. Do we have enough time? You know what? While they are doing the defenses on the right side are doing much better. Let's protect the left side here. They are a little bit on the weak side because of the very, very, very low level barrier that we set up here. Just need to be careful. Ooh, you're back, Vigor. Welcome back. You manage to cool down a bit. Okay. As long as you manage to cool down, even if it's just a little bit, I consider that much better. Much, much better. Is that a dinosaur? It's a Komodo dragon. Look at this, look at this. I'm so excited. Yeah! It breathes fire! And it moves fast. The only drawback of this mount is that it needs sunlight as a way to replenish its stamina. So yeah, that's the only downside. I cannot venture in the dark. So that means deeper forest is a little bit of a problem for me. But in the daylight, in the in the what's the word? Striking rays of the sunlight, we are moving much much quicker. Okay, we should be able to venture to this side of the forest. My god. Oh shoot, okay. I don't have a lot of money, huh? That is really dangerous. Especially if you think about... Come on, some of y'all must have money, right? Okay, 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 okay. Now we can... Now we can explore. We were just watching videos of a YouTuber who was explaining levels of a dimension called the back rooms. Interesting. What is the YouTube channel called? Dang it! The portal is already activated. Okay, that's it. Brugly. Ooh. Okay. Is it interesting, Vigor? It's extremely interesting. Ooh. So when you say levels of dimension, are you talking about like stuff like third dimension, fourth dimension, and so on? Sure. Go ahead and try to explain it. I do find that topic really interesting. Like having a fourth dimension. What sort of aspect we are talking about? Some people like to put the fourth dimension, meaning the fourth aspect being time. Oh, speaking of time, right? I do love. I'm not sure if any of y'all ever watched or even heard about the movie. It's called The Arrival. I don't want to to spoil the story, but it is really really fun and interesting movie to watch. So the back room is a dimension that exists and someone's entered it after glitching out of reality. And inside the back rooms, there are different levels and entities. Oh, okay. Interesting. Someone glitching out makes them go into the back room, just like a video game. Huh. Okay, interesting, interesting. So what do... Oh shoot. Hello? What is the ghost doing here? Aren't you a little bit too late, sir? My god, I did... This brings me a flashback of me following a ghost. My god. My god. The wise rulers takes their coffer. What do you mean I've already done that? Still can't believe they put monsters in the back room. Wait, you know about the back room, Nero? I've never heard about back rooms before. It kind of defeats the purpose of liminal space horror. Oh, they are quite popular story. Is it like the SCP kind of stories? I'm so I don't really know that much about this stuff. So each level of the back rooms also can be classified with many different classes. Class 1, Class 0, Class 2, and so on. Okay. Like a modern day Slenderman kind of popular. Oh, I see. Oh man, I feel so old now. I do know about Slenderman. I do watch a lot of Slenderman back in the days. I'm guessing the newer generation have something else. My god. It's kind of amazing how different people manage to be to put in interesting stories out there. Man, the raccoon, the tanuki really doesn't give a fuck, huh? There are also unique classes like class dead zone or class undetermined. Ah, interesting. So the last time I've heard about the internet horror scene is that the SCP. I do remember back in the days where SCP there are only a few of them. I do remember the SCP. What is that game? What is that SCP name? Where they are using the statue, not statue, sculpture by the Japanese sculpture. But that that SCP really freaks me out when I was a kid. No. Okay. I'm screwed. I am screwed. Oh my god. My god. Okay. Want me to tell you some backroom levels? Yeah, sure. Sure, Vigor, do tell me. I am scared. I'm so scared right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah. Okay. Okay, Komodo dragon. Oh my god. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. I'm so scared right now. I ah stop, please don't hurt me. My god. Oh my god. Please let me live. Let me live. Please, 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 please. Okay. Phew. Okay. Dang it. They are still following. Everyone get back inside. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, now I can relax a bit. SCPs can be a lot of fun if they are not sorely gore. Oh, yes, I do agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of SCP out there. There are some that, I mean, I do love the SCP that one of the few that I can remember is that oh god, what is it, huh? Something about turning uh books, not books. Is it words? Something about words into a living creature. I don't know that much about SCP. My knowledge about that lore is since rusted away from my brains. Level 54 is a level that is classified as a class 2 and it is unsafe, secure, and wait, what? It is unsafe, secure, and has low entity count. Level 54 is a stairwell that flows down in a spiral pattern. The staircase itself has many levels deep and is assumed to be infinite. The walls of these levels are a light blue in color, old and peeling. Interesting. Yeah, based on your description, it really does give a vibe of SCP, huh? What are you doing, sir? I'm trying to remember what sort of other SCP that I know. The only reason I know about SCP is that I used when I was younger, like 10 years before, I used to watch this YouTuber. I forgot the YouTuber name, but he likes to play a lot of those SCP horror games where if you took if you look away from the SCP monster, they will start killing people, and it's basically basically looks fun. That's the reason why I was so invested in looking up other SCPs. I don't even remember what is that YouTuber guy name. It's been such a long time. The walls are covered in mold and decay, and no matter how deep you go, the staircase just goes and goes and goes. It also has doors on either side that can lead to other levels, and those doors are to a hallway of this level, and the hallway is the same blue color as the walls in the staircase. Okay, I'm a little bit confused there. The walls are covered in mold and decay, and no matter how deep you go, the staircase just goes on and on. The, the doors on either side that can lead to other level, and those doors are to a hallway of this level. Ah, okay. So does that mean that any person that got trapped in the level 54 stays there, or will they be able to get out eventually? I'm sorry, I'm not that well versed in the backroom lore. Yeah, I do know that I need to unlock something. I do need to unlock the. Do I need to unlock anything? The bear. I do need to unlock the bear. But it's so dark. What is our option here? I mean, we can unlock it. The bear. Okay. Yay. Okay. Oh. Oh, come on. Do you guys think I can take the kill for this? Yes. 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 Hmm. Interesting. Is it much better than the Komodo dragon? I'm not even sure. A samurai shop? Ooh. Okay. I do need to get more coins. Oh, sorry about that, Vigor. Yes, your message did pop up. Yeah, in fact, let me read that. The entities in level 54 are very scarce and very rare to find. You can find your casual smilers, hound, and skin stealers, but they are rare. But one prominent entity, however, is the camel crawler. These entities are humanoid monsters with four arms. They are blind, but they can still hear, and they can change so that they can blend in Okay, can blend in with the level, but if they hear you, they kill you. Ah, interesting. So basically, those that got trapped in level 54 just have to be no choice but to get eaten by monsters, huh? That is a really horrendous fate to befall on them. Oh man, speaking of being trapped, right? Can you imagine being trapped in an elevator? My god. That is one of basically one of my fears actually. I have claustrophobia. Basically, I don't like being confined in such small spaces where I don't have access to an exit. I can basically handle being crammed into a small room as long as I had the ability to go out whenever I can. But let's say you are stuck in a room, right? Not a room, a closet, basically. You're stuck in a closet, and while you are putting away, uh, while you are closing the door, the locks become stuck and broken. Oh my god, that is horrifying to think about. But there are entrances and exits to the level. But you basically have to get lucky, right? Since you said that the the level 54 is like on goes on and on and on. The staircase goes on and on. Yeah, that is a really horrifying. And the fact that you can't make a mistake and make any sort of noise, otherwise you get killed. That is really horrifying. To enter, you must find and enter the stairs entrance in level 42 or find one in the hallway in level 17. Whoa, okay. To exit, enter one of the unlocked doors that can lead to level 1, 4, 5, 9, 17, 21, 34, 43, 58, 280. Oh my god, that is such a huge jump. Level 58 to level 280. Some more exits can be found by finding an old dusty store sign on the floor of a room that will lead to level 33. Once touched, you can enter level 61 by entering the crushed train in the wall at the stairway landmark. Interesting. So, wait, based on what Nero said, is the back room purely a text-based story, or does it have any visual at all? I know in the early days of SCP, there are some that rely heavily on visuals to convey the horror that they that they want to convey. What am I talking about? It's a story as far as you know, but maybe it it is an interesting story nonetheless. Maybe I should maybe I should have a look at story. And now we can hire some samurais. And let's see. How many samurais are there? We have one, two samurais on the left side. Okay, you know what? I am gonna hire more samurais. Then we collect money from the right side. Then we hire some more people and then some more archers before we send people to raid the monster's portal. Weren't there YouTube videos about it as well? About the backspace? Not backspace. Oh my god. Ah, god. Backroom, not backspace. What is wrong with me? Oh god. That's how it got popularized, if you remember correctly. Ah, interesting. I definitely will have take a look at it after this. Tag Broglie, because he explains the levels in details. Will do, Vigor. Thank you for the recommendation then. What about you, Nero? Any sort of recommendation about back rooms? I do need to hire some more archers. So let's have a snack. For the bear can travel to the far distances of the left side of the forest. You're not really up to date. You don't actually know that much about it. Uh-huh. No worries. But you actually know a bit, fair bit info about the back room. Much more than me, that's for sure. Oh my god, I just remembered something. You know, the stupidest thing happened in my country, my god. I'm not sure if it's a worldwide problem or if it's just my country, but Figure, do you remember about Um, the skibidi toilet that you talk about. Yeah, that stuff. My God, there's recently has been a TikTok challenge where people challenge each other, and those that um on the losing side of the challenge have to do something really disgusting, which is wash their face with toilet water. I don't know why, but the trend or the challenge includes something about skibidi toilet. I know, right, Nero? My God, why would you do that? That's the toilet is where you put your dookie in, not to wash your face. But yeah, some people are really weird. I mean, for the sake of a TikTok challenge, they decided to do something stupid like that. Why? I'm not even sure. I mean, I could tolerate people when they do challenges such as like the ice bucket challenge or the cinnamon challenge, even though I really disagree with it because it's really pointless basically to have that kind of challenges. But yeah, it's much better than using toilet water to wash your face. TikTok is certainly a different world, yes. If TikTok gets banned everywhere, the world will become much better. Will become much better. I mean, I don't I I don't mind people using TikTok because yeah, it's just a social media, but the way people likes to focus on something negative is really really astounding. Just at how much people likes to focus on the wrong thing for the wrong reason. You have a stupid friend who says that if TikToks get banned, it would literally be the end of the world. Oh no. Yeah, yeah. Some people are really um oh god, what's the word? Addicted? Yeah, addicted to social media. Social media. Maybe because of the validation from strangers that drives them to become like that. Not even sure. Can imagine people rioting. Addiction can be scary. They will be rioting and we will ignore them. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, just look at Twitter right now. Some people, like, if you say things like Twitter will shut down or it will decrease its usage, the overall traffic will reduce in 2023. Like when you say that in, for example, 2019, 2018, people will laugh at you. But then things happen and people will simply move on to the next best thing. That's what they say to Vine. Remember Vine has a similar thing to TikTok. And when Vine went out of business, people simply move on. But yeah, I do agree that some people takes social media to a whole next level. They become addicted to it and basically ruining their life. And for what? For likes? I mean, don't get me wrong, I do see some TikToks that are very educational and really, really genuinely funny, but anything that anything less than that is really abundant on TikTok, much more than other social media platform. Want me to tell you what you saw one day on Google? It was like the news figure. Yes, do tell me about it. Speaking of social media, right? Oh man, I do wonder what happened to my Twitter account. I rarely use them. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know how people can spend a lot of their time on social media. Maybe it's because I suck at them. Maybe that's why. Yeah, maybe that's why. Not for anything else, it's because I suck at them. Let's take Instagram for example. I like looking at photos, but not of other people. I like to watch or see sceneries, something like that, but my Instagram feed usually are filled with people that post selfies of them, which don't get me wrong, you are entitled to post anything that you want. It's your social media after all. But I don't know. I prefer something much more varied than selfies. A guy who saved animal from an earthquake got hated because people were like, if he cared, he wouldn't record it. He should say it, even though they wouldn't believe him without evidence. And people gave a different person 9k likes in one day by making video of him drawing Hornet from Hollow Knight, but not in the game's way, but in the weird way, with a quotation. Oh god. Oh god. Um I mean I mean weird way, you mean the way you don't want to see. I understand what you meant by that, Vigor. uh but yes, in the first half of your message there, right? A guy who saved animal from an earthquake. Um but yeah, I do agree with that. But on the other hand, if you are doing things for the right thing, you don't really need evidence. I don't know. Such a delicate issues to talk about. Because on one hand, you do want to encourage people good, to do good deeds to the world, right? But on the other hand, you know that people are not that good natured. That's all I have to say. Okay, let's look at the trend where people clean up beaches, okay? I've seen people I'm not sure if it's TikTok or Instagram or something like that. I've seen videos of people filming those kind of people that do those kind of challenges where they clean up beaches. It's basically just a photo shoot. Those people just pretending to bring plastic bags to the beach and then pick up trash and then simply leave the filled plastic bag on the beach. It's not even filled to the brim, filled halfway maybe, and then ask people, other people to finish up their work after they had finished doing their photo shoot, which is sad, you know. You are truly, if you truly cared about doing the right thing, you basically don't need validation from other people. So the other half of your message there, bigger, right? I mean, some people even pay for it, bigger. They really, really love characters. To each their own, I guess. Pick it up. Who wants to see fictional spider without clothes? I mean, some people do. Some people even pay someone to draw it for them. That's weird. But yeah, some people have different tastes. As they say, right? Don't yuck someone else's yum. Okay. So after this day cycle, I'm gonna send people on the left here to go and fight the monster portal, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my god, you just remembered something, Vigor? Ooh, sounds urgent. Man, now that I think about it, can I can I manage to do some overhaul on my stream this within this 1 week? But I don't. I shouldn't have promised to do an overhaul on my stream at the end of July, huh? My God. I don't. Yeah, I don't think I am able to do it. Oh, Nero, you have a game recommendation? Yes, do tell me. I still haven't played your last recommended game, which is Manifold Garden. But but yeah, I do intend on playing games. recommended by people. Your eyes still hurt? Oh no, what happened to your eyes, Vigor? Okay, uh, one day you were searching about the Mantis Lord to find a good pick so you can put it as a card because you can create custom cards for games and you saw a picture that burned your eyes, Mantis Lord with oh no. Oh no, NSFW. Oh god, okay. Your eyes still hurt. Oh god. Um okay, let's god, oh god. I shouldn't have sent the knights. So since a lot of my streams are chill gaming with a lot of chatting, you thought Dorfromantic might fit the overall vibe. Ooh. I will definitely have a good look at it and check it out. Let me put it in my notes before I forgot about it. Dorfromantic. Dorfromantic. Is that how it's pronounced? You're surprised? I still remember Manifold Garden. Yes, I do remember everything. I do remember stuff, but I just didn't have the time or the resources to buy the game yet. But I do remember Manifold Garden because it looks really interesting, and I hope I can play it someday. I will definitely have a good look at it afterwards. But let me let me open Steam for a bit. Dorf Dorf Romantic. Ooh, oh my god, yes. It's a puzzle game, a city builder, turn-based strategy. Ooh, ooh, yes, yes. It does fit with my overall vibe. Thank you for the recommendation, Hero. It does really look interesting, and it's really beautiful too. Yeah, ooh. I love what I'm seeing right now. Definitely adding it into the wish list. Okay. uh, Tell me the difference between M and M. Uh, I'm not sure, Vigor. What is the difference? Are you talking about the candy? M&M candy or something else? The one M is English, while the other M is Greek. Is it though? Is one of them slightly bolder? What? Am I blind? I literally don't see the difference. My God. How do you see the difference there, Miro? I feel like one the Greek one is a few pixel wider. Oh my God. How do you see that? I literally cannot see the difference between them. Bigger, can you put it side by side without the N, respectively? M and a Greek M. Capital M, K H X P Y I O and A are exactly the same with Greek letters, and the letter, oh my God, the English P is the same as the Greek R. Interesting. I've never know about that. I feel like I'm blind and I cannot see the difference between the two of them. Are you sure one of them is Greek? There is no difference other than the language. Oh, okay, okay. Not specifically in the beach chat, right? Okay. I can check it in the Google search Greek alphabet. Uh-huh, okay. Man, speaking of alphabet, right? One of the few languages that I really had trouble deciphering is Cyrillic. Is that the right word? The right terminology? Cyrillics? Yeah, Eastern Europe. Yeah, Eastern Europe I really had trouble I really had trouble deciphering or identifying their languages. Um, you know what? Yeah, let's send. Oh, speaking of Cyrillics, right? The only reason I know about Cyrillics is that I've watched some streamers on Twitch here that play a lot of GeoGuessr. I forgot about their channel, but I've watched them play a lot of GeoGuessr, and every single time I see them guessing a place that has Cyrillic, they would always choose the wrong country. It's always so funny to see that. Speaking of GeoGuessr, maybe I should have a look at that game. I'm not mistaken, it does require me to pay. I don't know, I don't know. But GeoGuessr might be fun. Have any of y'all played GeoGuessr before? I always wanted. Oh my god. That's a lot of coin. Dang it. Okay, I just need a few more. Okay, they managed to destroy that portal. How many more portals that we need to destroy? Is it two? Or is it only one? Man, this is a... Oh shoot! Okay. It's a huge island. Come on, bear. Come on. Okay. Come on, recover your stamina. Come on. Please. Survive. Oh my god. There's flying monsters. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You better run. You better run. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Uh-oh. 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 Okay. We managed to survive, so that's good. Sheesh. I really should find a warhorse, huh? Warhorse is not here. Interesting. Why is the bear so tired all of a sudden? Okay, nice. We should have ample. Oh, yes. Yes. So much coin. Now that we have find the copper mine, we can upgrade our castle. Yes. Look at that. Yes. Now we have the chance to bomb the monster's hideout on the on the right. So that's good. Ooh, what is this? Okay, let's hope that the builders can do their job much quicker. Because I need this wall built yesterday. Come on, chop chop. Get to it. What is this? Interesting. Isn't it kind of short for you guys? Where are you going? Hello? What? Okay. Interesting. Okay, what is this? A catapult? Isn't it redundant to have a catapult at this point? I mean, not. It's not like there's gonna be a monsters coming from the left side, right? No, there is a monster lair left. Okay, here's the deal. We are gonna expand. Okay, let's go. Knights. While you guys are en route to destroy the right, the left side, gonna get some safety money for my journey. Uh, your friend just did you a weird would you rather question. Want to answer it too? Sure. Depends on how weird is the question. It's way too weird. Okay, shoot, just ask away. Oh man, it's already 10 o'clock. Ooh. If I were forced to see NSFW, would you rather see Hornet or Radiance? um, um, uh, I'm not sure. uh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be weird. Uh, wait. Is Radiance male or female or non-binary? I'm guessing they are non-binary. Radiance is a female. Interesting. Then I would choose Radiance. Because why not? Radiance would have the power to make other people simp for her with all those brain mind control, brain altering compounds. Okay. Okay. Only need to destroy one more bottle on the left side here, so that's good. So you pick Hornet, huh, Vigor? I mean, you do like Hornet, huh? Okay, Vigor, okay. Since you just asked me a would you rather question, right? It's only fair if I ask you, who would you be willing to marry if uh the choice is between uh uh oh god, who is it, huh? Rue's mother or the collector? Let's be unhinged. The collector? Yo. Is there a reason why you pick collector? You won't marry a fly and collector has four arms, you can put them in use. That's fair. Actually, that's fair. I mean, you do have to bear the constant screaming of the collector. I asked that question, but I personally don't know which one I would pick. I mean, technically, Gru's mother is not that bad. Except, yeah, she is a fly. I don't know. I don't know. The only drawback that I can see about the collector is that they scream a lot. Like, really a lot. I'm not sure I'm able to withstand all that screaming. Okay. Um what's the choice? What's the hmm. On second thought, yes, I do think that the collector is much better. Mostly because can you imagine marrying Gru's mother? Suddenly you become a father or a parent to five children at a time. Yeah, no thanks. As unhinged the collector is, they only collect stuff. So it's not a harmful stuff to have. Yeah. I do agree with you, Vigor. Collector. Now that I think about it, collector does seem like the most is the better option out of the two. Imagine marrying the Radiance though. She's a goddess with a power. Imagine how she could protect you and a lot of fun with her because of her powers. But would you get fun with her? After all, she does have the power to control your mind. Aha. Oh my god, it's winter. Uh-oh. Man, I spent a lot of time, like 23 days into this island. Okay, here's the plan. I am gonna send the knights, samurais, out into battle. safety money from the banker. I don't need this much, good sir. You gotta go? Okay, no worries. I'm almost at the end of my stream myself. Thank you for coming, okay, Vigor? I really do appreciate it. Now I just need to focus on sending these knights till the end, and then I can end the stream. Otherwise, if I stop before I finish the left side of this island, I will forget and end up making a stupid mistake at the start of next stream. And it's winter, huh? Oh gosh, okay. This is a copper mine. And it's so far away, huh? Man, we traveled so far. Almost there, almost there. Maybe I should build a portal. Interesting. It took 1.5 day, approximately. Interesting. Okay, so we finally managed to reach the end. Come on, come on. You can do it, you can do it. I believe. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Now we have the option to make a lighthouse. I still don't understand what is the function of the lighthouse. It's better to have it than not have it. Nice. Hey. Let's see what sort of progress we have. Oh, okay. I see, I see. So, except for the third island, is it? Yeah, Except for the third island, we managed to have all of the islands that we visited a lighthouse. Okay. Man, the forest in this area is so thick. There's not even a clearing that I can recover my mount's stamina. Interesting. There's an area. Okay, we managed to survive that onslaught, so that's good. But we are almost reaching winter, so we need to be careful. We need to be we need to be careful, especially with our resources. I think we can finally relinquish the refugee camp that is on this side. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, while we wait for the samurai to reach the camp. Ooh, more berries. You really like the graphic of this game? The pixel art is really nice. Yes, I do agree with that. Pixel art, when done correctly, is really charming. That's why I love the Kingdoms game. I've been I've been exposed to this game ever since the first game ever come out. And the fact that it was available on Android and on iOS really helps with the game's visibility. Look at this ninja guy. What are you guys doing here? You guys should stay inside. Okay, so interesting, interesting. Do I need? Interesting. Trying to get a stable up and running, if possible. That means I need. Oh my god, a knight just died on the on the right side. What happened to you guys on the right? Hello? Interesting. Okay. Let's have you. Now. Can you do anything? What is the function of this lady? Please tell me this is the stable. What? It's a stable, right? Ah, it is a stable. Okay. Okay, so these berries shows themselves when it is winter time. So I should I should be more careful about my resources here because winter is coming and my offers are not that many. I don't have a lot of fun in my coffers. It is winter time. That means no more hunting. Uh-oh, I'm wasting money. Hello? My god, the bear is... I'm really getting sick of the bear. Oh, have even more. More of these berries? Okay. Okay, we should be fine. Just need a few... Not archers. Gardeners. Gardeners. My god, the bear. Can you stop being tired? My God. Well, I do understand that every winter the bear, a griffin. Yes. Okay. Okay. Um. Hmm. What to do? What to do? Okay. You know what? You know what? I am a little bit tired, and I've been streaming to almost 3 hours. So I am gonna call it a day. Uh. Yeah. Day 26. We end the stream on day 26. Thank you so much for watching. Special thank you to Nero Stranger, Vigo for 50, and Santa is sick. Thank you for dropping by. I really do appreciate you coming to the stream and accompanying me, taking your time to spend time with me. I really do appreciate it. Um, as for tomorrow, tomorrow I am still gonna stream more of shapes, and I had a lot of fun, and I did manage to do some um off stream leveling. So don't be surprised. I did some sort of progress. Otherwise, it would take me like forever to do some sort of progress if I only played on stream. But anyway, tomorrow we are gonna play more of shapes. And as for my promise for stream overhaul, I guess that had to be postponed till further notice. I I don't want to um promise when it will be finished, but it will be done soon. Soon, trademark. But anyway, I hope I can finish it as soon as possible, but it's just not gonna happen at the end of July. Um, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see everyone in the next stream. Goodbye.